Hey guys, today's tutorial is about updating to iOS 11. So let's do this right away. Go into your settings. Under settings, you guys will see your first option where it says your Apple ID. I want you guys to make a backup there. Once you guys do that, just go into general. So I'm already in general. So if you put your iPad sideways, you guys will see this type of screen. Anyways, under general, you guys will see the second option where it says software update. From there, this should load up, alright, iOS 11. Then just tap on download and install, and it's gonna start downloading, alright? So just click on agree. So we tap on agree again, and there we go. So the first thing it's gonna do, download. Now it is almost 2 gigs, so that's pretty heavy. It will take approximately 15 minutes for most of you. Some of you 30 minutes with a slower internet, and for those of you who have good internet, this shouldn't take more than 5. All right, now it does depend. Now when iOS 11 came out, it was a little bit slower because everybody was trying to update at the same time, and a lot of people have their devices set to update by themselves, which I never recommend doing that. So usually your iPhone, iPad, Apple Touch always asks you if you want auto updates. Never click OK on that, right? You guys should update yourselves, and this is because glitches come with iOS. All right, so are there glitches with iOS 11? Sure. There aren't any humongous ones that I've seen so far. You guys can follow some threads where you guys can see that there are some glitches for some people. One of the things that I personally don't like when updating my iPhone, for example, is that you lose that 3D touch multitasking, which I used so much, and they just took that away. All right, iPhones that you will see multitask with 3D touch will be the iPhone 10. However, they took it out from all other iPhones with iOS 11. So if you want to keep that, you guys should just stay at iOS 10. iPads. So depending which iPad you guys have, it will be compatible with iOS 11, right? So not all iPads can be updated. For example, iPad mini 1 cannot be updated. And this is not a bad thing. Newer iOSs always make your iPads, iPhones, iPod Touches a tad more slower, all right? In some cases with older generations, it'll make them pretty slow, and people always want to go back to the other iOS because this iOS just made it too slow. So, and it does make sense. All right, that's how whatever updates they come up with, there's always more stuff into it, more heavy. As you can see, these 2 gigs, so it's quite a bit. Anyways, I did mention making a backup. That's because if something happens, then you guys can just restore. All right, so you guys can restore your iPad, and then you guys won't lose anything since you have that backup. So that's why I suggest making a backup. It's not a for sure thing. If you guys don't want to make a backup, don't do it. If you guys care about your information, I highly recommend doing so. If you guys don't have any more space on your iCloud, then don't worry about it. I have a video that shows you how to actually go on and clean up your iCloud space and just make more space for that and make a new backup. All right. Apart from that, you guys should have at least 50% of your battery. Even if you guys have 100% like me at this point, I have it hooked up. All right, so I usually don't recommend having your iPad hooked up to electricity once it's 100%. However, this is an update, and I don't want anything to happen, so this is like a safety net. So just for the update itself, I have this hooked up the whole time. Now if you guys have like 20%, you guys can still do the update as long as you have it hooked up to some electricity. If you guys have 100%, which is perfect, I would still have it hooked up to some electricity. All right, so when it's downloading and something happens, it's no big deal. You guys can just re-download it. However, when it comes to the second part, which is installing, and something does happen, you guys will have to restore. So let's say you run out of battery, or just a mistake happens, and they do happen sometimes. You're gonna have to restart it. That's why I'm telling you guys to make that backup. You guys can also make that backup using iTunes on your computer, so you don't have to worry about iCloud space. Apart from that, guys, this whole process should take approximately 30 minutes. Like I mentioned before, it does depend on your internet speed and also which iPad you guys are updating. Some are a little bit slower than others, so it'll take a little bit longer. At this point, we already tapped on install. So the installing process shouldn't take more than 30 minutes. Like I said, could take a little bit longer with older iPads, but if you're there 2 hours, you might have to restore it. Anyways, you guys will see your iPad just restart, black screen, white screen, app logo, loading bar. So once the loading bar is done 2 times, you guys will get another screen, alright? So we're gonna go through that. Alright, so after a few minutes, you guys will see this screen. Alright, so update complete. You guys just have to tap on continue. So let's tap on continue. It's gonna ask us for this, unless you guys don't have one. So I'm gonna go to passcode options. And in this case, I don't want to use one. So don't use passcode. Now again, you guys could create one, use one. I just don't want to use passcode for my iPad. It's gonna ask me for my Apple ID and password. Now for your password and your Apple ID, you guys can always skip that step as well. However, I never suggest doing that because you guys want things to keep up to date with your Apple ID. Alright, in order for things to sync up properly, it's better not to skip that step. After that, you guys will see this step. Now, a lot of people are having problems with this, waiting for it to approve on other devices. As you know, now you guys need a two-way thing for your Apple ID and your iCloud. So it's basically like having two passwords, kind of. You're setting up one password, then you get a code on your other Apple device, and then you guys just have to verify it. That's all. Alright, so you guys could get a text message to your iPhone with the code that you're supposed to put on your iPad, but not necessary. You guys can always skip this. So if you guys tap on the down bottom, it says can't approve this iPad, don't worry about it, just approve later, and you literally don't ever have to do it. However, it is a requirement from iOS 11. Apple was smart enough to just kind of override that for the time being if you guys are having problems with it. So this is actually something I do because I see that it's a mistake, and there's always problems. So this does show you a little bit about what's up with iOS 11. I think iOS 11, it's much cooler to have on your iPad than iPhone, since you guys don't have 3D touch multitasking anymore. With iOS 11, I don't like it. I don't like a bunch of features about it on iPhone. However, with iPad, I can see why you guys would want to update to iOS 11. Anyways, let's just go on and tap on continue. It's gonna show you more stuff that's new. So like I said, for iPad, I think it's great. So what I'm gonna do is just tap on continue, get started, and you guys are all set. Alright, so this is the new look, new look and feel for iOS 11. As you will notice, there's a few changes throughout. Just gonna do this. It will be a little bit laggy at the start, so what you guys can do is hold your home button and your power button and just restart it if it's too laggy. Alright, that's about it for this video. If you guys have any questions, comments, you can write them down here below in the comments area, and don't forget to subscribe and rate. Thank you.